And as I said, if somebody did something, if there is evidence of a crime committed, then prosecute them. In the absence of that, what are we talking about?
You say there's a lot of nonsense. A lot of nonsense from whom? What do you think? Explain to me what you think the nonsense is here.
Do you think there really is a criminal element here? Or is this issue being blown out of proportion by the media?
Well, frankly, the fact that you're even covering this. I mean, I don't even understand, frankly, why we're spending a lot of time on Jeffrey Epstein. The fact is he was a pedophile who was arrested. He committed suicide, and his, fixer, if you will, is being prosecuted. So at the end of the day, if there are people who were part of any crimes, then they should be prosecuted. But in the absence of that, what exactly are we looking to do?
Why do you think the public still wants to learn new names and details related to the Epstein case? If you want to show your support for more content like this, simply like it and subscribe.
The information is there. It is well documented what he did, and beyond that, what exactly are we looking for?
Understood. Just so you know, it's being covered because the deputy director of the FBI is said to have taken off work on Friday to protest the Justice Department's own handling of this, and there have been shouting matches reported inside the White House on this. So whether or not you think it's important, apparently there are people who are quite agitated about it, but I will move on. I do want to ask you, you're on the House Foreign Affairs.
He says, if a decision was made, I will know. I'll be the first to know. In fact, most likely, I'd give the order. Most likely? Okay, but we're talking about the instances when you don't give the order, like the pausing of the weapons to Ukraine. If there's a shred of truth in anything that Donald Trump said in response to Sean McCreesh today, it would be, well, I haven't thought about it. And that is the truth of everything Donald Trump does and doesn't do as president.
Do you think it is acceptable for a president to say, I haven't thought about it on critical issues? How responsible do you think Trump is in this regard? Write your comments.
I haven't thought about it. That is the theme of the Trump presidency. In your lifetime of listening to presidents being asked questions about policy situations they are actively engaged in every day, you have never once heard a president say, I haven't thought about it. It takes Trumpian stupidity to say something like that. And when you're as stupid as Donald Trump, you have no idea how stupid your stupidity sounds. Donald Trump is trapped in his stupidity. There is no way he can fake sounding smart about anything, not even his lifetime passion and greatest expertise, golf, which he simply lies about.
Dear viewer, if you found the video useful, you can help it reach more people by liking it. You can subscribe to stay informed about future videos.
And today, Donald Trump put his stupidity in writing once again in one of his inane tariff letters, this time to the president of Brazil. Donald Trump actually told the president of Brazil that, quote, starting August 1st, 2025, we will charge Brazil a tariff of 50% on any and all Brazilian products sent into the United States. And the reason this time is crazier than any other reason he's ever given. The reason Donald Trump gave for imposing a 50% tariff on Brazil was in the second sentence of the letter. It was this: the way that Brazil has treated former President Bolsonaro, a highly respected leader throughout the world during his term.
Do you find Trump's justification for imposing a 50% tariff on Brazil reasonable? How do you think such decisions affect relations between countries?
Including by the United States, is an international disgrace. We will consider later in this program how this drunk tariff letter will affect Donald Trump's case in the Supreme Court when they consider the constitutionality of Donald Trump's tariffs, which have already been ruled illegal and unconstitutional by the leading judicial experts on tariffs in America, the Special Federal Court for International Trade. That case is being appealed and will surely end up in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court will not fixate on all the oddities of Donald Trump's improper use of capital letters in his prose writing, but everyone in the Brazilian president's office who sees this letter will know that it's the first one they've received from a president of the United States with absurdly childish grammar mistakes. There is no English language usage in which the phrase highly respected leader would have a capital H, R, and L. And everyone who knows English in the Brazilian president's office knows that the word world and the word term in that same sentence also should not be capitalized. There has never been an explanation, other than Donald Trump's inadequate education, for his random use of uppercase letters. But when you send these things to foreign countries and heads of state, they know that someone who can't command his own language, the proper use of his own language, cannot possibly be taken seriously on anything. Nobel Prize-winning economist Paul Krugman did a special post tonight on the Trump letter to Brazil, calling it evil and megalomaniacal. The truth of how Donald Trump arrived at the tariffs on Brazil, and it is in his own statement about another point, and that is his confession today. I haven't thought about it. That explains everything in the Trump presidency.
I have a quick request. If you've watched the video up to this point, you can contribute by clicking the like button. You can subscribe to stay informed about future videos.
Just think the former president of the United States gets up from the White House and writes a letter to Brazil. And what a letter it is. He imposes a 50% customs duty on a whim. Why? Because the disrespect shown to Bolsonaro is a disgrace to the world. Who do you think you are? Taking revenge on another country's former leader with tariffs? Isn't Trump's own corruption scandal in association with Epstein enough? On top of that, he says, I didn't think about it. No, I am not joking. He says he didn't think about it. Friends, have you ever heard an American president say, I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it. This man had the nuclear codes in his hands. And as if that weren't enough, he thinks he's important because he writes word in capital letter in his letters. Highly respected leader, world term. Are these even names? Remember his all caps obsession on Twitter? The coffee fiasco is still fresh in our minds. Do you know what this is? This is what happens when a person's ego overpowers their judgment. But don't forget, this poorly written letter isn't just going to Brazil. It's telling the whole world, if this is America's leader, no one will take him seriously. That's why even people at the FBI are rebelling, and there's chaos at the White House, because one scandal doesn't end before another begins. Now I ask you, what are the millions who still believe in this man and follow him chasing after? Thank you for watching.